Welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how you can apply shaders to live camera preview in Expo React Native project for Android using CameraX Media 3 effect. So we will be achieving the periodic vignette shader. I'll show you guys the output so that things would be more clearer for you. So I have recorded the output over here, so I'll just play the output. So here you can see first you need to give the camera permission, then here you will see the live camera preview. Now here you can see this is called the periodic vignette shader. So at the outer side you have this circular or a oval type thing, black color thing, and the center you see have this something like which is zooming and zooming out, and I clicked on the capture button, it captured the image for us. So yeah, that's what this is. So we'll achieve this effect with the help of shaders, and this would be a good starting point if you want to apply your own shaders as well to live camera preview. So let's get started. So here what the next step is, to create an Expo React Native project. So you can just run this command inside your terminal and it will create an Expo React Native project for you. It will ask you for your app name, just give it some app name. Now just to quickly show you the documentation as well, there are multiple ways to create an Expo React Native project. I'm using this blank TypeScript template as you can see over here, but if you want you can use all these other templates as well. The reason I'm using this blank TypeScript template is because it creates a blank less boilerplate code with TypeScript support, that's why. Okay, once that is done, you need to go to this URL over here. So like I said, will be writing native code. I'm not using any third-party library. Also the Expo version which I'm using is 53.0.2. Unfortunately the Expo guys have still not updated to React Native 80, which has been released a month ago from the time me recording this video, but they still haven't updated it. I don't know why, but anyways, for our case this is fine. There I don't think there will be any breaking changes as such. So just go to this URL next. So here you will have to select Android device, select development build, and I have already done all these steps. So here you will have to select your own operating system. I have already ran this command. I have set the Java home as well. I have also set up Android Studio as well. So if you haven't done this, you will have to follow this documentation, then do this particular bit of stuff, then do this particular bit of stuff. Then you will have to cd to your application, so the Expo React Native application inside your terminal, the cd to my app or whatever is your Expo React Native project name, and then just run this command. So this will install this Expo dev client dependencies as well. So you'll have to run this command. Once you run this command, you will have to run this command over here, npx expo run android. Once you run this command, you should see this Android folder being created for you. It will also ask you do you want to run your application on a simulator or a real device. So you don't have to run it, you can just press Ctrl C. We'll run it at the very end once the application is done, once we finish writing code, because we will be writing native code, right? So you can't just hot reload or hot refresh. You will have to run it from the start, so no point in running it now. Okay, then we need to create this module. So for that you need to go to this particular documentation. Like I said, this is only for Android, so we are not concentrating on iOS. So I'll open it inside a new tab, and here you can see you first need to run this command. Okay, then it will ask you some questions like what should be the module name. Don't enter anything, just press enter. That's it, and it will give you this, it should create this folder for you, modules, my module, that's it. Okay, now I'll just close this. Now a few things which you need to do. So first you need to go to the src folder, go to mymodules.type.ts, and here you can see this is the URL. Like this is the thing which we will use for sending, this key we will be using for sending the image URL from native Android side to Expo React Native side. Okay, now here I have commented this particular thing out. Now this all thing was present by default, I have not added this by myself. I will tell you what I have changed. I have commented these two things out. Now don't get confused by this URL and this URL. This URL is for sending the data back from native Android side or from native side to Expo React Native side, and this basically is a prop. We are not using any prop, so I have commented this out. And this particular thing is same what I have written over here. I have just changed the name on image taken just so that it makes more sense in our case. That's why, that's the only thing which I have changed. Okay, and I don't think I have changed anything inside my module. Just check once. I think this should be the same for you as well. Then once that is done, you need to go to the Android folder. You need to go to build.gradle, and here you need to add this dependencies block. So here you need to add this camera core, then this camera 2, camera lifecycle, camera view, then Android X camera media 3 effect, which is still in alpha at the time of me recording this video, and this media 3 effect as well. If this library does become stable, make sure you use the stable version. Then Android X app compat 1.7.0 as well. Okay, once you add all this, you need to go to the main Android folder, go to app, src, main, android manifest.xml, and here you can see we need to add two things. First is this uses feature of Android hardware camera, as well as this camera permission. So make sure you add these two things. Now we also require this write external storage, but this was added by default when we create an Expo React Native project, so I don't need to add it. Okay, and also the internet permission is a good thing to do. Okay, once that is done, let's just see how to use it. We'll see the implementation in a bit. So just go to app.tsx, and here are all the imports which I have written. So feel free to pause the video and copy all these imports. Then here we have one state for image URL, one state just to check whether camera permission was granted or not. Then here I am just checking whether the Android version is greater than 10 or not, greater than equal to 10, because from Android 10 we don't require the write external storage permission. So that's what I'm doing over here inside this method. Depending on the Android version, we are asking for the required permission, and here you can see once the permission has been granted, we just change the state of this particular variable over here as well. Okay, and inside use effect we just call this particular method over here. Once image URL is not equal to empty, then we'll just display the image using the image React Native image element. If it is empty, like at the default it is empty, and if camera permission is granted, then we just display this camera preview as well as our capture button. Else we just say display a text saying camera permission not granted, and these are the styles for that particular thing as well. Okay, then again you need to go to module, my module, go to src java, and here you first need to go to my module.kt. Okay, first you need to add this particular import. Now why we need to add this? Because we need to annotate this my module @unstable API. This is because this media 3 effect libraries are bit like this is an alpha, right? But this unstable API is because of this particular library. Even though this is stable, the API is bit unstable. This is one of the quirks of Android development. Hopefully by the time you guys watch this video, they hopefully resolve this issue, but at least at the time of me recording we need to add this. Okay, and rest everything I have kept it as it is. Then just scroll down, and here inside my module we have commented this out because we are not passing any prof. So to comment out things in Kotlin, you just have to add this // and here also I have commented this out, events on load, and here I have this events on image taken, because that's the type which we are using over here, right? That's why I'm using events on image taken. That's the only change which you need to make. Now let's see the actual code on how to do this. You need to open this my module view.kt file. Now by default you will see some code inside this file. You have to delete that particular code. We are not going to use that. Obviously make sure you keep this class if you have named your module differently. Rest everything you can delete it. Now these are all the imports, so feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports. Now we are annotating this with unstable API because the media 3 API is still unstable, which we are using in this class, and given that this class is used inside my module.kt, that's why that class was also annotated with @unstable. Then here we have this event dispatcher, which helps us to send data from native Android side to React Native or Expo side. Here we get hold of our activity. This is the frame layout. Then here we get hold of our camera preview as well as image capture. Here we initialize our button. This is the preview view. This is the camera executor service. This is the process camera provider. Here we get hold of our back facing lens. Then we assign layout params to our frame layout, add it to our parent view. Then viewfinder is basically the camera preview. We assign layout params to that as well. Here we are calling this method. I'll come back to this in a bit. Then we add our viewfinder to our frame layout. We set the text background color, text color, and alpha to our buttons. Then we set the layout params to our button as well. Then we add our capture button to our frame layout. We add a click listener to our button as well. Here we override on attached to window. So if we have the camera permission, then we just do viewfinder.post setup camera, and here we do on detach from window. So we just shut down our camera executor as well as unbind our camera provider. Now coming back to this method which I was talking about. So for this method I have copied it from this particular URL. So this is a issue which has been open in React Native's repo for past 8 years. They have still not fixed it. So this is the hack which we need to write. So why we need to write this hack? Because if you don't write it, you will just see a black screen. You will not see your live camera preview. That's why we need to do this. Then here we have setup camera, for which we do this process camera provider, we add our camera provider future listener as well. Here we get our camera provider, and then we call this bind camera use case. Here we get our rotation as well. Here is our camera provider. Then here we initialize our camera selector. Here is our aspect ratio strategy. Here is our resolution selector. Here we initialize our preview view. Here is our image capture. Here is our use case group builder, where we add preview as well as image capture use case. Here we initialize our media 3 effect as well. Now here we make use of this GL effect, and here we pass this periodic vignette shader program. Now this is a separate file which I have created, so I'll show you that in a bit, and it takes all these parameters. So we are just passing all these parameters to it. Then we add the media 3 effect to our use case group builder. We unbind our camera provider, we bind it to the life cycle over here, and we assign it to our camera. Then we assign it to our surface provider as well. Here inside take photo, we just check whether we have image capture. Then we define the name for it. Then we make use of content value to pass the display name, MIME type, and if Android version greater than P, we also set the relative path. Then here we get the output file options as well. Then we do image capture dot take picture, and here we override on image saved, and here with the help of this we send the URI of the captured image back to Expo React Native side. Here we unbind our camera provider. This is just a method just to check whether we have the proper camera permission or not, and these are some variables which we have defined, which we were using in this file. Now before coming to this periodic vignette shader, we need to write our vertex shader and fragment shader, right? So for that you need to go to the src main, and inside this you need to create an assets folder. You have to name it as assets, so please follow what convention which I am using. Also make sure you make use of the same file name, because these two file names, fragment and vertex shader, will be used inside our periodic vignette shader. So first create this vertex shader underscore copy underscore es2.glsl. Now I have no knowledge about shader, I have just copy pasted this code from documentation. So if you have a knowledge about shader, you can play around with this or write your own logic to this. So yeah, this is all what vertex shader is. Then this is the fragment shader file. Again, feel free to pause the video and just copy this code. So that's what this code is all about. Then here finally we have this periodic vignette shader. So here again, this should be your own package name, which you can copy it from my module view or my module class, and these are all the imports for that. Okay, now again I have copied this from documentation, I'm not an expert on this, so I'll simply scroll through this file. Feel free to pause the video and just copy the code. So here you can see we are referencing our vertex and fragment shader, and I think here we are doing some setup. Okay, and here we are passing the values from our class to our, I think, to our fragment shader, I guess. So that's what we are doing. I'm not really 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. And here we override and return the size. Here we draw frame, so on each and every frame we are doing this bit of stuff, which again I don't really understand. And here we release it once it is no longer in use. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments and I'll try my best. Thank you for watching. Bye.